What's going on, guys? Welcome back to List Week. I am the baddest, and we are, what is this, episode 5 of this week long of posting a video every single day about my favorite music to come out in 2024. It's been a lot of fun up to this point. I don't usually have the chance to talk about music that much because most of my actual job here on YouTube is about talking about video games, but this has been a very nice change of pace for me. And I definitely want to do more of it in the new year when I'm kind of semi-retired on YouTube and I'm not really worrying about doing it full time. So I hope you guys have had a good time because I very much do not want to stop doing this. Today is the biggest video in List Week because I'm counting down my top 20 songs of the year. They could be singles, they could be off of a record. It's limited to one song per artist though, so it's not like we're just going to have a bunch of Quedeka or Kendrick or Eminem, whoever the hell. We're not going to have a bunch of one artist. It's going to be one song per artist, any genre, any way of release, lots of fun stuff. Kicking off this list, I have my favorite song off of the new Fontaines DC record. This track is called Death Kink.
I caved in, my promise was constant, amazing, stars from the dream.
The guitar instrumental on this song is brilliant, and across this whole record, the singer's vocals are very heavy, very breathy, and that comes across very much on this song as well, and I absolutely love the sound of it. I love the goth rock kind of sound and aesthetic, and yeah, this whole song is really fun to listen to with its heavy instrumentals and heavy vocals. It's pretty dark, it's kind of sexy, it's pretty unique, it's really weird. And yeah, I'm a big fan of this song, though it does come at the bottom of this list. Next up, I have The Force by LL Cool J.
Speak game on the seaplane. Now the blue faces matching the deep waves. Shorty took the pic solo, no one see things. Now she hopping.
LL Cool J is one of the most legendary hip-hop artists of all time, and he released a new album this year, the first one in years, and it's a really solid record. I like most of the tracks on there, but this one stood out to me the most. I just really love the instrumental on this one. The best way I would describe the new LL Cool J record is it's like the finest version of an old school hip hop album coming out today. It sounds old school, it feels old school, and it sounds so authentic, and it sounds fantastic. LL Cool J is getting a bit old to be releasing music, but he sounds just as good as he ever has. He's still a fantastic lyricist. He still has some very sick flows. And yeah, this whole track is just like an old school banger with a quirky, strange instrumental and some of LL Cool J's rawest vocals on this new record. Coming up next though, I have Quote Unquote Radio by Vince Staples.
94-7 away. I know my real ones from the ghetto relate. I know they finna play some belly today.
Vince Staples also released a great record this year, though this song is the one that stands out to me the most personally. It's a really cool, simple, but like dark song about just the idea of how radio has evolved and how music has evolved, and some of the negative ways it's evolved. I love the sampling on it. I love Vince Staples' laid back, kind of nonchalant performance on it, and yeah, I just love the subject matter of the song as well. How it's about how radio kind of promotes. Or music in general nowadays kind of promotes some of these negative things. And it's something a lot of rappers have talked about, a lot of musicians have talked about, but I really like the presentation of this song. It's cool, it's groovy, it's unique, but it's also got something to say, and it's a cool listen. It's not a very fun listen, but it's a really cool listen. Next up though, I have Death and Romance by Magdalena Bay. This record was so unbelievably successful this year, and this is my favorite song off of it. It has kind of a distorted sound to its instrumental in the chorus. It hits really hard. The high-pitched vocals sound fantastic on this one. Again, this is just my favorite representation of this new album, and yeah, I love everything about it, from its lyricism, to the vocal performance, to the distorted instrumentals, to the pop focus. This is one of my favorite pop songs of the year. Then following that, I have I Like the Way You Kiss Me by Artemis.
I like the way you kiss me. I can tell you miss me. I can tell it this.
I'm not someone that sings TikTok's praises too highly. I'm not on the app and I don't really care for it. But I actually am of the opinion, the somewhat controversial opinion, that a lot of great music has originated from TikTok. This song blew up on TikTok. I don't really know why. I guess just for having a repetitive kind of quirky chorus. And this is probably my favorite song to ever pop off on the TikTok scene. The way Artemis is able to like represent a male vocalist and a female vocalist all on the same track, the way they're able to write such smooth and sexy lyricism, absolutely adore it. I think what I love about Artemis so much as an artist is how just sex positive his music is. And yeah, that fully comes across on this track. It's very wavy. It's a very sexy track with, you know, a very strong emphasis on sex. And I love the way it's done, personally. Artemis released 2 projects on this year, both of which I think were good. The second one I think was a lot better. And yeah, they're definitely an artist that I'm interested in seeing the future of. Next up, I have Steam by Cluster. Cluster is a very underground artist, the most underground we will mention on this video. But their record this year was fantastic. It was spoiler alert top 10 of the year for me. And yeah, this song right here just stands out to me a lot. I'll talk about it more in a future video, but what makes this Cluster record called Everlast so interesting is that it's basically all about being awkward. It's basically an album about being chronically online, and that is portrayed in a way that is so uncomfortable and kind of awkward, but that's what makes it good. It's uncomfortable, but that's the point. It's meant to be uncomfortable. It's meant to be awkward. And yeah, it's like a weird experimental electronic record, and it's really fun to listen to. I love the textures, and I love the weird glitchiness of it. I love the melodic vocals that are kind of muffly. I just really love the way they sound, along with the glitchy instrumental. Yeah, this is a great track. I love this one a lot. I love this whole record. Big fan. Next up, though, I have Letter to God 1974 by Halsey.
Did he wanna be grown up? Were there trees he liked to climb?
Halsey's record this year contained 3 different songs that were letters to God from different time periods, and they are so sad and disturbing, but genuinely really interesting. Basically, Halsey was diagnosed with an illness. I forget exactly what it was, but a genuinely life-threatening illness, and that's what her whole new album is about. But these Letter to God songs are essentially about how, as a kid, she would see how kids would get sick, and she was jealous of the attention that they would get, so she would ask God to make her sick, but to not make it hurt so much. It's really interesting. It's really sad, because it's like, I used to ask God if he could make me sick, and years later I got really sick. Was this an overdue thing that just came from my prayers from the past? Yeah, it's really dark, but man, it's just so fascinating to think about, and it's really sad to listen to. And yeah, I really like how just interesting of a concept that is, and this is just my favorite one of the 3. Next up, though, with a complete change of pace, is Wake Up by Ski Mask the Slump God and Juice WRLD. This is just a banger. I don't have that much to say about this one. I love Ski and Juice's chemistry, and it's just such a shame we haven't been able to hear more of their unreleased music. But their chemistry and their wackiness and how silly they are with one another is just so enticing on this stream. It's so fun. It's so energetic. It's so in your face. I love the high energy. I love the experimental, weird SoundCloud era instrumental. And I love that Ski brings the high energy out of Juice. I love that Ski gets Juice WRLD to really pump up the energy and just go in with those screamo vocals. Very fun song, absolute banger, big fan. Next up is Halloweeny 6 Possess Me by Ashnikko.
Lick it, lock it, be with demonic, on my skin and plot it. The veil is thinning tonight. He done it.
Ashnikko is one of my favorite pop stars to ever exist. I'm always looking forward to what she's doing, even if I wasn't a big fan of her debut album. But yeah, her Halloweeny series, which is every year she releases a fun, quirky song for Halloween. And yeah, this new one definitely stacks up to some of the best. It's absolutely fantastic. Ashnikko's vocals on this are just as weird as ever. She is such a performer, man. She has such a unique style of performing, and she really comes through with some really silly, really strange, but really exciting vocals on here. And her style is so sexy, both in the way she sings and in the way that she writes. I love the way She always incorporates some weird, silly, quirky, sexy kind of writing into her songs. Just makes them so fun, makes them so, they're so pro-feminist, they're so pro-sex positivity, and they're also just, like, weird. Like, I think Ashley Cole makes music for, like, the weird girl, and she's so good at it, and I love it. This is one of my favorite songs of the year, man. Next up, I got Suffocate by Knocked Loose featuring Poppy.
Suffocate!
This Knocked Loose record I already talked about in my top 5 metal albums video, but man, the straightforward, in-your-face metal music on this record is fantastic, and Suffocate is my favorite song. The vocals from the lead singer of Knocked Loose are so fucking raw and fantastic, and the feature from Poppy and the chemistry between the two, the way one so brilliantly comes in after the other, so cool. They sound so fantastic to each other. Fuck, I can't talk. They sound so fantastic together. I love the guitars on this song. I love the writing on this song. I love the drums on this song. Everything hits so hard. Everything is so raw. It's such a fucking banger of a track. Next up, I got So I by Charlie XCX.
Always on my mind, every day, every night. You're stopping so bright. Why did I put you away?
In my top 5 pop albums of the year video, I already talked about how much I love the Brat record and how So I is my personal favorite off of it. Because it's a bittersweet song dedicated to the late Sophie, a very experimental and revolutionary music producer that was a huge influence and friend of Charlie's. And yeah, it's so sad what happened to them and the fact that their life was taken so early. And yeah, this song being all about it is very heartwarming and breaking at the same time. It's very bittersweet. It's very tough to listen to, but it's such a beautiful song. And I love the way it starts. I love the way it ends. I love that it ends with this really distorted, mumbly sound. Such a lovely track. Such a sad track, but one that I absolutely love. Moving on, though, I got Judge Judy by Tyler, the Creator.
I don't judge Judy.
This new Tyler record has so many brilliant songs that tell really sad but heartwarming but interesting stories. And my personal favorite is Judge Judy. Judge Judy is a chill rap song about this girl that Tyler was hooking up with at the time who then eventually fell ill. It's very sad. It's actually really sad. It like starts off feeling like a really chill and sexy kind of song, but then it escalates into being a song about this young girl who Tyler was hooking up with tragically, seemingly passing away. It's a very beautiful song. It's a very vibey song. It's a really lovely song to listen to that just so happens to have a really sad conclusion. But it tells a nice story. It is a nice story, even if it has a sad ending. And yeah, Tyler's vocals on it, fantastic. The production, the beat goes so great, along with Tyler's style of performance on here. Beautiful song. Yeah, a great hip hop track. Love it. After that, I have Future and Metro Boomin's track Like That, featuring Kendrick Lamar.
Young dope dealer selling dope, is you like that? Kicking doors, kicking in doors, is you like that?
God, this song is so legendary. There's really nothing to say about this one that hasn't been said. It is such a ridiculous banger. It goes so hard. The synthy instrumental is so fucking vibey. Future's hook on it goes so hard, and Kendrick's verse is outstanding. And of course, this sparked the biggest rap beef possibly ever, but at least in the last 20 years, and it will forever be legendary for that. And I love the way it was done. Kendrick's verse on this track is just so... It's like playful, but it's also murderous. It is fucking fantastic. Like That is one of the biggest bangers of the year, and I love every single thing about it. Moving on, I have a bit of a weird song. I have Pitch by Gomo. Gomo, or Go Motion, is typically a YouTuber who, much like myself, talks about indie horror games and Five Nights at Freddy's and stuff like that. But they've also been a musician for many years, and they finally released a song that I think showcases their weird, unique style that they're really, really good at. This is a breakcore / hardcore song that's mostly based upon its instrumental and being really fast-paced. and weird and wonky. It does have vocals in the midst of its instrumental, but they're really mumbly and like kind of hard to make out. But they do contribute a lot to the song because they add in a little bit of that extra sauce. It's fun, it's weird, it's wacky, and it's a huge banger. I love this song. And next up, I got Guilty Conscious 2 by Eminem.
You created me to say everything you didn't have the balls to say. What you were thinking, but in a more diabolic way.
I've spoken at length about this Eminem record so many times, but what I will say about Guilty Conscious 2 is it's not like the best banger off of the death of Slim Shady, but it's the one I've had the most fun listening to. I love the dynamic between Eminem and Slim Shady on this record. I love the way it tells and kind of concludes the story, and some of the symbolism that's within this song is something I still have stuck in my head that I will make a video about one day. I love the instrumental, I love the writing, I love the crazy flows and the layering of the vocals in Slim Shady's part of the song, where he becomes like essentially a major villain. Like he was the villain the whole album, but then he really shows off his villainy in like halfway through the song, where he's telling Marshall, "I'm who you used to be, you who didn't give in to scrutiny, that the fucking bars." It's such a cool song. It's such a fun song. God damn it, I love the death of Slim Shady. I'm sorry, I know I shouldn't, but I love it so damn much. And now we have finally made it to the top 5 of the list, starting off with Vampire Weekend's Ice Cream Piano.
As soon as it had passed your lips, I'm a gentleman. I feel to show my gentleness.
This is the opening track off of the new Vampire Weekend record, Only God Was Above Us. And I've talked about it at length already, but man, the instrumentation on this song is phenomenal. The vocals are phenomenal, the writing is phenomenal, and the way the beat drops, it's a weird thing to say in this style of music, but I'll roll with it. The way the beat drops with all of these incredible instrumentation, with this incredible instrumentation that it combines so many instruments in at once. God, it's such an overwhelming, powerful, beautiful masterpiece. Everything about Only God Was Above Us is fantastic, but the way it starts could not have been any better. I love this opening track. I think it's fantastic, and I think it's the best the album gets, honestly. And I love re-listening to it by itself. Following that, I have Cheerleader by Porter Robinson.
She's got hearts in her eyes, and she draws me kissing other guys.
This is my favorite track off of the new Porter Robinson record called Smile, and yeah, it's just everything about it is essentially perfect. It's like electropop instrumental is so vibey and cool and upbeat and fun, and Porter's vocals on it are the best they've ever sounded, and his writing is great. This song is all about a girl that he used to know, who used to give him all this confidence and was like a bit of a weird girl that kind of suited his personality. And now he doesn't know her anymore and he's not in touch with her anymore. It's a bittersweet, kind of sad, kind of cute song. It's a very cute song, actually. And I do really like the way it's like kind of sad, kind of moody, kind of emo-ish, but the instrumental is not that at all. It is very upbeat, it is very cheery, and it's very fun. The best way I would describe this song and the whole record is colorful. It is so colorful, it is so fun, it is so exciting, and absolutely adore it. Going into our top 3, I'm starting off with Violet Pony's Play Dead, Play Dead.
I've been up for 3 days and I'm burning up. So much for laying low.
I have spoken so highly of this Violet Pony record already, but this song here is just the one that I come back to the most, having the most fun with. It's so guttural. It is so vicious and violent. It's just so fun. I love the melody, I love the rhythm, and I love the play dead, play dead, play dead, play. It's just a song I have really fun with in the midst of an album that's otherwise really dark and serious and kind of hard to listen to. It's a really powerful and exciting and fun noise rock song with fantastic vocals, amazing lyricism, and some of the best instrumentation I've heard all year. Next up, I have Guess Who by Quadeca.
Way before I even turned 19, get him out at the in and out in a dry clean, dropping tapes like I couldn't figure out a crime scene. My career fucking weird, can't even define me.
I've spoken a lot about how Quadeca is an artist I've followed for years and seen the incredible evolution of, and man, the way it all culminates into this song, so fucking cool to hear as someone that's followed him for years. I don't even know how to describe the production of this song, but the production of the instrumental on this song is so cool and like poppy and like vibey and weird. It's so goddamn unique and interesting. And Quadeca's vocals sound so like heavy. Like normally Quadeca has like a bit of a white boyish kind of voice, and he still does, of course, but it just sounds so good on this song. He sounds so confident. He sounds so about himself. He sounds amazing. And yeah, this incredible combination of this weird, glitchy, poppy, weird instrumental and Quadeca's heavy, confident, and boastful performance makes for such a cool banger, such a unique banger, one that's so fun to listen to and revisit. Yeah, one of the best songs I've heard all year, and my personal favorite off of the Scrapyard mixtape. But there can be only one as my number one song of the year, and it's probably a bit of a bad take. But my number one song of the year is Meet the Grams by Kendrick Lamar.
You a body shamer, you go hide them baby mamas, ain't you? You embarrassed of them, that's not right, that ain't how mama raised us. Take that mask off.
This is one of potentially the greatest diss track of all time. It is so scathing, it is so horrific, it is so borderline evil, and it's fantastic. It's so evil that's really what I love about it. The instrumental of this one sounds like the theme for a serial killer. It kind of reminds me of actually the Halloween theme. It's so evil, it's so dark, it's so serial killer-esque. It just sounds like a song you're gonna put on when you're getting ready to kill somebody. And what can I say? I feel like killing somebody. And what can I say? It's a fucking fantastic song. It does such a good job at encapsulating this like evil, this evil aesthetic, which is perfect for what Kendrick Lamar says and does with this track. It is a scathing, devastating, impossible to come back from diss track. Not come back from as in still have a career, but something that people will never actually forget. It is genius. It is terrifying, and I absolutely love the style, the aesthetic, and what this track did, making it my favorite of the year. So, those were my top 20 songs of the year. I hope you had a good time hearing them out. Let me know what your favorite songs of the year were. I would love to go ahead and listen or just let you know what I thought of them. So, please feel free to let me know in the comments below, because I'm always open to hearing more, and I'm interested in what you guys think of this list as well. This will end up probably being the longest video in list week, so I won't ramble too much here at the end. But the next two videos are going to be my top 10 worst and top 10 best records of the year. So be sure you tune into those, because you're going to hear some really bad garbage, and you're going to hear some actual fucking masterpieces. So be sure to tune into those videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for everything. Have a happy I don't know what day of the week this is. I don't know what order these are coming out. Merry Christmas, maybe. This might be the day after Christmas. I'm not so sure. Happy holidays. Have a good one. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.